Okay, I'm live. Man, big shout out to all my brothers that's about to come through. They probably already hit the link for me. My guy Marky Dan is already in. I got another B3 picks. I got it. What's good, Marky? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, Stefan
Uh,
Urkel?
oh. All right, so Marky's coming with the jokes already. I'm gonna have to make you go camera if you gonna join me, yo.
Oh man, I'm
But
at
man,
work. I'm doing good though. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, bro, man. God bless you. Appreciate you, Marky, for coming on. Salute to my brother Prize Fighter in the building. So listen, I do have a StreamYard set up. So I believe this is a free version. It does allow me to bring up at least 6 people. So y'all just work with me. I do got 2 phones, but I'm running everything off of this phone. So I'm kind of just getting familiarized with the StreamYard setup, man. So appreciate everybody that's gonna come in. I know it's a much better look with the StreamYard. So I'm glad the chat is working. Shout out to my brother Prize Fighter. All right, so let me kick it off like this. I ain't had no intro music or nothing. It's crazy. We just getting this is grassroots, so we just building from the ground up. I gotta start with this. And Marky, if you can't speak or whatever because you're at work, just let me know, and then I just keep it
Nah,
rolling.
nah. I'm clear. The office is clear. I'm by myself. I'm just typing. So go ahead.
Oh, okay, so you know this is a good platform for my brother Marky. It's just me and him right now. So I ain't got nobody that's gonna cut him off. So let me ask you this, Marky.
Beautiful.
All right, so let me ask you this. This is the first question of the day. Um, who, in your opinion, would you call pound for pound right now? Not the list or anything like that just yet. If you had to define a pound for pound and put a fighter to it that's active, who would you say and why?
You mean So are you saying do I have a designation of when I look at guys? I'm like, yeah, he pound for pound, or are you talking about just one individual who's pound for pound over everybody?
100%, 100%. The latter. Give me a person who you feel like is the top dog, the number one pound for
Oh,
pound fighter right now.
it's Usyk. I don't think that there should be any question about that whatsoever. People like to bring up, the original pound for pound clause, which was that it was for lower weight classes. It's not for heavyweights. But we living in a whole different era. We living in an era where a guy that was fighting at 199 pounds moved up to heavyweight. Now he's 220 going up against dudes that's 240, 250, in some cases 290. Okay, and we've seen how his chin stand up to those dudes, and we've seen him put a couple of those dudes to bed. We even saw in one case where they had to save Anthony Joshua. They had to ring the bell 10 seconds earlier, or Usyk might have put him down. So absolutely, if you talking about pound for pound, a guy with skills like Usyk going up against dudes that outweigh him by upwards of 20, 30, or 60 pounds, it's no question in my mind. It's Usyk.
Hey, that's a great point. You broke that down very well. He got Usyk, Marky Dan as the number one top dog in the sport of boxing. Let me bring in my brother D Free, man. Appreciate you,
Really
Free,
old.
coming on the B3 Picks TV. I gotta add good morning to you. And let me ask you this, Free, to start off. Who would you put number one as the top dog in the sport right now, pound for pound?
Um, I got Bud Crawford because of the simple fact of what he was able to do in multi different divisions. The man started off at 35 and he moved all the way up to 54. Now he's at 68. He goes out there and beat Canelo Alvarez. He would solidify himself as the number one pound for pound. Now, I heard everything that Marky said about the heavyweight. Well, the reason why that they don't put heavyweights in there, or reason why it was originally not qualified for heavyweight, is because the heavyweight division is an unlimited division. When you're talking about these other weight classes, you have to weigh at a certain level. If you go over that, you can't fight for a title or you'll be sanctioned or whatever have you. So you have to have your body cut for a certain weight. That's why they said they gotta rank these guys because heavyweight is unlimited. You can weigh whatever you want. It's not a specific weight. to weigh in at heavyweight. You can weigh whatever you want. Once you get over that 200 and I think it's 205 pounds, you can weigh whatever you want. But with these other weight classes, you gotta be within a certain amount of pounds of the weight, or you don't qualify for that weight. So that's the reason why heavyweight is not considered, because they don't have to. Yeah, they do cut weight to a certain extent, but they don't have to cut weight. With these other weight classes, they have to cut weight in order to make these weight classes.
150%. I'm in full agreement. Now let me kick it to y'all like this because I didn't get to add them to the thumbnail. But let me start because the people want to talk about Inoue. A lot of the guys are not familiar with the lower weight classes, but I know y'all are y'all familiarized with the sport of boxing in a major way. What's y'all thoughts? And salute to my brother Justin James. Appreciate you, family. What's y'all thoughts on Inoue? And do y'all feel like he's in your pound for pound or in your and where would y'all say him? How what are y'all thoughts on Inoue?
Yeah, I got y'all already know how I feel about Monster. He's pretty much my favorite fighter in the sport. I got him number two, right behind Usyk. I think the man has shown the skills and the ability. We saw what he did to cool boy Steph. You know, a lot of people tried to downplay that win and say certain things about Steph, but then we saw what Steph did when he moved up to 126, was styling on people. So I got Inoue at number two on my list. Not only that, I got Bud Crawford number three. I don't disagree with anybody putting Bud Crawford above Inoue or Usyk. That's your opinion. But one thing I also factor in when it comes to Usyk and Inoue is the two of them are way more active than Bud Crawford, way more. And I put those three kind of in their own class because they're undefeated. On top of the fact, they're the only three people who have been back to back undisputed in two different weight classes. So I put those three in their own little category. But I got Inui at number two. For the O.
Okay, that's what's good. Nui number two,
Now,
behind Usyk.
yo.
What you okay, free need a second. So let me say this while we're waiting on free, right? I like in the way I think he's definitely a top pound for pound fighter. I don't have him in the top two. That's crazy. And the reason being is I'm gonna be honest with you. We're pulling hairs with all these guys that's moving through weight classes. The only thing I'm gonna say about Inoue, and I have to do this because I love his combination punching. Um, his defense is leaky. And that's why I'm leaving it at. Of course, he comes back from these knockdowns and gets stoppages, but I don't want to see my pound for pound fighter getting knocked down by lesser opposition. I do have to put you behind a Tank Davis to be fully transparent. Behind a Shakur Stevenson, a Bud Crawford, guys that consistently keep high level defense and offense. So that's the only reason. That's the only knock on Inoue. I don't want to see him getting clipped and put down. Like that's a no go for the
We
top.
just we
So,
just saw Grease Boy take a knee against a guy from 130, and we saw Bud Crawford against Green Machine, a guy admittedly he put hands and feet on, but he got dropped. So and listen, I respect your opinion. You got Tank or any of them guys over Inui. I don't agree with that reasoning, and yeah, I just use those 2 points to refute it. But if you don't got Inui on top, I mean I can't disagree with that. He just who he fought Roman Cardenas. The guy was a lift driver. So if you want to use that to say he's not top three, I mean, you can go ahead, but these other dudes, we just saw Grease Boy take a jab to the eye and take a knee. So I don't necessarily think that that's something you can only attribute to Monster and Noe.
now, let me say this for accuracy purposes. This is B3Picks TV. I'm not going to allow you to call him Grease Boy without saying that you hold on that you did not see that you saw the video where his hair had hit him in the eye. Correct or wrong? Did you see the video?
Yeah, a jab past his face,
No,
and the
I
braid
didn't
hair.
ask all that,
I'm
Marky.
agreeing
Marky,
with you.
hold
I'm
on,
agreeing
Marky.
with you. I'm
Okay,
agreeing with you.
so
Can I state my facts? Was that
The-
not a fact? A jab did
all
not pass his
I
face,
listen. All I want
and
is
then
a
it
yes
hit
or
the
no,
brain.
Mark. Mark, we on B3 Picks TV. All I need to know is this: did you see hair go in a Tank Davis's eye in that fight? Yes or no?
I did. Yeah.
Okay,
Did
so
you see
that's
the
so that
jab preceding that?
a
B3
hundred
picks.
percent. We understand a knockdown is a knockdown. I'm not going to refute that. But all I'm gonna say is to the grease point, we gotta put some respect. He's still a
Okay,
pound for
fine.
pound great.
It
That was
wasn't the grease. It was the hair.
most.
Fine.
Listen, most dudes that was getting that was in a tough fight like that, they wouldn't have survived. They wouldn't have been able to stand up to Lamont. We seen what Lamont has done to a Fergal McCory, somebody that didn't have no grease in their eye. But
Most dudes, and my bad for cutting you off, B3. And you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead. We're not gonna stick on the tank point. Go ahead. Go ahead.
nah, let's not. Let's get free here. Free. So where was we at with it? We was talking about Inoue, right? I didn't hear you on
Yeah.
Inoue. What you think about
Uh,
Monster, Free?
I would say he's probably somewhere around 4 or 5. And the only reason why I say that, I know a lot of people want to give Monster Inoue credit for becoming 2-time undisputed and things like that. And I never have accolades weigh in on my decision. I go strictly skill for skill. And I have to uh, put him down that low because of the level of competition that he has faced. Yeah, he beat some good guys, but to be honest with you, really only two guys is really somebody that you say was good, and that's Nonito and Cool Boy. Everybody else, you wouldn't call them good. You would say they solid opponents, but you wouldn't say that they were good opponents. You would just say they solid opponents. So I have to deduct them for the reason of his level of competition that he has faced. And he could have faced better competition. He just chose not to. He could have. I mean, there's been plenty of opportunities where Monster anyway could have fought the top guys in his weight class, and he didn't. He fought the top guys at a certain time. He didn't fight the top guys when there was guys that we wanted to see him fight. He fought guys that got belts that he felt that it was a little easier for him to win. And so, I mean, I have to deduct that, but I still got him a pound for pound fighter, just not number 2 or number 3. He's somewhere around 4 or 5.
Three or five it is. I think so when I look at it like this, okay, let's move into this, right? I'm not gonna get my opinion just yet. Let's move into this real quick. If y'all had to do it, because you said you put Monster probably somewhere 3 or 4 or 5. Um, I'm not gonna ask for a specific order, but give me 5 names. I want from Marky and Free. 5 names that y'all can legitimately say that these guys are the top guys in the sport. They're representing the sport the right way as a pound for pound fighter. In your opinion, who are y'all's? Who's at the top for y'all? You can go ahead and start, Marky.
I would say Usyk. Um, we've seen what he's been doing. So I don't. I think it speaks for itself. Monster in a way. I'm also gonna put him in there. You know, a lot of people still don't give him credit for the fact that he moved straight up to 122 and got in that smoke with Cool Boy Steph. And then the guys he's fighting, Luis Neri, TJ Doheny, like he might get a lot of flack for that, but the reality is those are the best dudes at 122 right now, outside of MJ Akhmadaliev, who he's about to fight. Then the third guy I would say, he's probably not on a lot of people's radar, but Junto Nakatani, all he does is get in there with he just got in there with a champion and absolutely put hands and feet on him. Every time I see Junto in there, he's putting hands and feet on somebody. And he's calling for Inoue, he's calling for Bam. He wants all that smoke. Number 4, um, who do I think is pound for pound that's representing the sport well? You could say Benavidez. I put Benavidez in there too. I think he does the sport really well. And Bivol. I put Bivol in there as well. Because Bivol's had a pretty good string of fights, including the Beterbiev series he's in right now. Go ahead, Free.
No particular order. Bud Crawford, of course, I had him as number one, but Bud, um, Bam, Monster, David Benavidez, and I would say Jerron Boots Ennis.
Now
Mm,
that's a good
solid
entry.
list.
Now let me ask you with the Jerron Busenis, that's a good entry. I like that entry. What made you put Jerron in your top?
Um, because he when he got the opportunity to fight the number two guy in his division, he stopped that man. A man that's never been stopped. He stopped that man. So I mean, he wanted the top guys in the division. They didn't give him a opportunity.
Free went out for a quick second on
Nah,
my end.
but to add to his point, I mean, Boots moved straight up, and this might not have anything to do with inside the ring, but still, it's representing the sport of boxing in himself. Boots moved straight up to 154 and was looking for Virgil, and it was all these different excuses. Not what they say. No, we wanted in what they say. We wanted in October. Then they said we wanted in November. I'm not sure I'm being entirely accurate on that, but Boots moved up there and they didn't want it. That's what I heard. So I think that young dude is absolutely representing himself well. He went to Brian Norman, tried to make a fight, went to Barrios, tried to make a fight, came back to Stanionis the second time. They got it done. So from what I've seen, he's trying to get in there with anybody who other people think is a good fighter. So yeah, I'd absolutely put Boots on number 6 on my list if it's a top 10.
Yeah, no, I do think Boost is a top pound for pound fighter. I don't feel like he has the. I think skill set, and of course he was unified at 47, but I don't think he should be put over Benavidez right now. Now because Benavidez is a two division champion, twice champion at 168, and then ultimately he has the better names on his resume. Um, until Free gets back, Marky, let me ask you this. What's your thoughts on David Benavidez, and do you feel like he's a pound for pound fighter?
Um, Um, I have him right at number 10. If you ask me to do my list, I'd put him right there at number 10. I feel like at a certain point you do have to be given not I'm not gonna make I'm not gonna use it completely to judge or grade a fighter, but at the same time, I feel like at some point we gotta give this guy credit for making Canelo look like a scaredy cat. Like Canelo is terrified of this young kid. And then on top of the fact, I had, and this again, it's me personally. If I'm doing my pound for pound list off of my personal opinion, I thought David Morrell was special. I really thought he was. And David Benavidez went in there and put hands on him. So I have a high opinion of David Benavidez's skills. Now the accolades department, I mean, when we really look at the resume, I mean, Caleb Plant, that's a good win. Put hands on him. Boo Boo Andrade, even though as a guy moving up still, that's something people wanted to see. Put hands on him. Um, and then we had David Morrell. So out of that, it's 3 fights, three pretty decent opponents. If you want to say those are his top three, if you want to say, those are the top names on on his resume, and he's been a champion 3 times now. So I think he fits the bill of a pound for pound fighter, in my opinion.
Oh, my bad, fellas.
Nah,
Yeah,
you
go ahead,
good
Free. I
free.
don't know if
You
you heard
good
the
free.
question.
You.
Yeah, but when I
We were
was
talking about free. We had
uh Jerome Busenis.
yeah,
Um,
Jerome. Yep.
Yeah, finish up on
yeah.
that.
So when he got the opportunity to fight the next highest fighter in his division, which was um Stanionis, I mean he made Stanionis look like an amateur in there. So that showed me his skill level. When no matter what type of fighter it is, he still is highly skilled. So I just put him. I had to put him in the top five.
Nah, that's a great point. I mean, I'm in agreement with you. And then to piggyback off of that, free, I was mentioning David Benavidez. I was saying that I love Jerron and his skill set being unified at 147. I would have Benavidez ranked over him just based on two division, of course, but also the names. I feel like the Boo Boo win, the Demetrius Andre win, things of that nature. What's your thoughts on David Benavidez and your pound for pound?
Yeah, I would actually have David Benavidez ranked number three because
Mm.
the level of competition that he fought. I would have him ranked number three because he got in there with Caleb Plant and put hands and feet on Caleb Plant, somebody who is a skilled boxer. He got in there with Bubu Andrade, and at the time, Bubu Andrade was undefeated, and he made Bubu Andrade quit. He got in there with David Morrell, somebody who I picked would beat David Benavidez because of his skill level. And we saw that was a back and forth fight, and David Benavidez showed he was the better fighter. So yeah, I would definitely put him number three on my pound for pound right now.
Yeah, David is. I mean, he's been doing tremendous things in the sport. I mean, he's been, pretty much beating everybody they put in front of him. Now, outside of that, let me ask y'all about this. Now, of course, Tank Davis, Marky, he said, called him what he called him, and we saw the last fight. Now, Tank Davis was definitely top and high on my pound for pound list before the Lamont Roach fight.
My bad, B3. You cut out for me for a second. I cut out. You can repeat that.
No, I was saying I was mentioning Tank Davis. We was gonna get into Tank Davis real quick. Just on the pound for pound. I know before the Lamont fight, I definitely had him high on my pound for pound. Like, but I think I had him like right behind Canelo at one point, and then he was even above Canelo at certain points. Now, what's y'all thoughts on Tank? Is he still in y'all's top pound for pound?
He's in
No,
my
he's
he's in my top 10.
Okay, Free got him in top 10. What
I,
about you, Marky?
yeah, I got him in my top 10.
no, I don't got him on my pound for pound list. No.
Now, being a three division champion, a knockout artist, he stopped so many top level guys. How would you not be able to put Tank in your top? Explain that to the people.
I based it on the fact I don't think he won his last performance. Like I thought that was a terrible look for him. On top of the fact he was fighting a guy that he pulled up from 130, a weight class below him. I'm not. I The reason why I had Tank on my pound for pound list for such a long time was I looked at the skills and his ability, his punching power, his counter punching ability, his ability to really just walk dudes in the traps. I looked at that skill set and I said, I don't think there's nobody at 135 that can really beat this dude. So I had him. I think probably somewhere between 6 and 8 on my pound for pound list before. But after what I saw against Lamar Roach, no, I don't got this dude on my pound for pound list. I don't respect his resume. Rolly Romero. You can give him credit for that, but let's be honest. Rolly Romero didn't start gaining skills until he got away from Bullet Gibson, and then Mario Barrios. Um, you can give him credit for that if you want to. I mean, I'm not going to put a rehydration clause on the man. And then I just think Mario Barrios is trash to begin with. Like at 140, 147, I believe the man is garbage. And I think he benefited off of fighting a shot Jordanis Ugas. So I never really respected Tank's resume. It was always the skills and the eye test for me that put him on the list. Even the three division champion stuff. He's not really a champion at 140 because I don't. Free might recognize regular belts. I don't. Me personally, I just don't. I look at that as a Mickey Mouse belt to the super belt. So in my mind, he's a two division champ. And again, I had him on there because of the eye test and the skills, and I just saw the man lose. And a lot of people are saying that Lamont, if Lamont had got the knockdown, he should have win. I didn't think Lamont needed the knockdown to win. I had him winning 7-5, and the second time I watched it, I had him winning 8-4. So no, I don't have Tank on my pound for pound list, but I respect y'all opinion if you have them up there.
Yeah, let me elaborate on my the reason why I still got him in my top 10, because everything that Marky Dan said is bogus. Um, you can't just because a man had a tough fight, which he did not lose, say that he's no longer in the pound for pound. Because if that's the case, you would have to say David Benavidez is no longer in the pound for pound. He had a tough fight, which he did not lose. You would have to say Monster Inoue is no longer in the pound for pound. He had a tough fight, which he did not lose. You would have to say Bud Crawford is not on the pound for pound, who had a tough fight, which he did not lose. So no, I'm not gonna say because he had a tough fight with a guy that you think he should have beat. Bud Crawford was in there with a guy that only had 12 fights, and Bud Crawford fought tooth and nail with that guy. He still got the win, but he fought tooth and nail. He pulled it out the last two rounds, in my opinion. He pulled out the last two rounds in order to win that fight. So nah, I'm not gonna I dropped him down, but I'm not gonna take him off the pound for pound because he had a tough fight. Everybody has a bad day at the office. So he's due for a bad day. He was flying high for a long time in his career. He's due for a bad day. Everybody has a bad day. So I'm not gonna knock him out of the pound for pound. I would knock him down a notch, but I'm not gonna knock him out of the pound for pound because I still think he's the best guy at 135. Because Lamont Roach has some success with him and fought to a draw, doesn't mean that everybody else will have that same success that's at 135. So no, I'm not gonna take him out of my top 10. He's just not gonna be at where I originally had him at, which was somewhere around 4 or 5. But he's still in my top 10.
Now, now let me say this really quick, because of course I love talking about women's boxing. I want to pivot really quick. Now, the women's side of it, of course, I had Clarissa the Grow Shields is my number one pound for pound. In women's boxing, it, would you guys argue for anybody to be pound for pound number one over Clarissa present day?
No, let's not even have that conversation.
No, no. As I mean, she literally beat everybody she's been in the ring with. I mean, there's nobody that you really want to see her in there with. We talking about females in a weight class that she can no longer make anymore that we want to see her fight. So no, I definitely got her number one.
Okay. Okay, that's now let me ask you this. I'm staying on the women. I don't want to lose this. Now, the bomb, Alicia, pretty petite Alicia Baumgardner. Now, as far as her last performance, I understand, it was somewhat controversial, somewhat not, but it was a closer fight with Miranda. Starting with Free, where do you look at Alicia Baumgardner as far as her pound for pound status in women's boxing?
I got her somewhere around 8 or 9.
Mm.
I'm not sold on Alicia's skills. Yeah, she's been able to win fights, but I'm not sold on her skill level. I'm not. I mean, I see. I think Dubois can possibly beat her. I mean, there's a couple of young lions that's coming up, young lioness that's coming up in women's boxing that I think will give Alicia Bongana a run for her money. So nah, I got her somewhere around 8 or 9.
Marky, if you still with us, what's your thoughts on Alicia pound for pound status?
Um, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like I just mapped out my top 10 pound for pound in the back chat. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm not educated enough on women's boxing to say who she's ranked over or who's ranked ahead of her. But I wasn't impressed with her last performance.
Marky, you
From
cut out
from
for a second on me. Can you hear me?
you can you hear me?
I can hear both of y'all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. No.
Marky cut out a little bit. I know you said you're not familiarized that much with women's
Yeah.
boxing. I do see
Well,
your top 10 men's pound for pound. You want me to read it off or you want to read it off?
I'll read it off. Number one, I got Usyk. Number two, I got Inoue. Number three, I got Bud. Number four, I got Bivol. Number 5, I got Gento Nakatani. Number 6, I got Bam Rodriguez. Number 7, I got Boots Ennis. Number 8, I got Shakur. Or excuse me, no, I scratched that. Number 8, I got Better Beef. Number 9, I got Shakur, and number 10, I got Benavidez. And I made that specifically because I just don't see, especially after that last performance, where and I hear what you're saying, Free, about a tough fight, but again, with that Bud Crawford, again, it's my opinion, and in my opinion, I thought he lost that fight pretty bad, like pretty bad. And with Bud Crawford and another thing, the opponent matters. Lamar Roach was a dude moving up from 130. Now we can say he has skills and he's a good fighter, but again, if Tank Davis is somebody I view to be pound for pound, and a dude is coming up to your weight class, you're supposed to step on him. And I thought he lost, and not by a little bit. I thought it was a definitive loss. I didn't just think it was a tough fight. But
You
I
said
do
who
hear
lost
what
pretty badly.
I thought Tank lost pretty badly, and
So now,
I hear.
Marky, now you starting a smear campaign now, but continue.
I'm not starting no smear campaign. Why I gotta be starting a smear campaign? I'm just speaking my opinion. But
You
but
acting like ain't none of these brothers been in close fights. Like think about Bivol. Bivol and Better B was in two close fights. People thought they went either way. All these guys.
but
Now Tank,
again
this is hold on.
but
Let me just
again
say
the
this.
opponent.
Hold on, don't cut your brother
My
off. You
bad.
know
Go ahead, P3.
you
My
know what I'm
bad, my
saying.
bad.
All I'm gonna say is this:
But you
all of these guys
But
is going in through tough matchups. So all I'm gonna say is this: if you gonna pull Tank out for one fight that you think he lost, then I mean, it's probably some other guys we got to look
the
at.
but again, what I just said, the opponent matters. Bivol and Better Beef
yeah,
are two
and
pound for pound fight.
I was gonna
Hold on,
reply
don't
on
cut
that.
me off. Don't cut me off, Free. Please, please. Let me just finish. I'll let you go. Bivol and Better Beef are two pound for pound fighters that went up against each other. Losing now, if you take a loss to another pound for pound guy or a guy I view to be on your level, that's one thing. You losing against a dude you pulled up from a weight class below you. And I thought Tank was supposed, and again, because it's my opinion, and my opinion factors into my pound for pound list. I thought Tank was supposed to put hands and feet on him, and he lost, in my opinion. So
And
and when I'm putting somebody on a pound for pound list based on what I see in the ring, based on the eye test on that person, not based on necessarily what they've done, you gonna get dropped. It's as simple as that.
okay,
Now I've laid
Now,
out the
now,
guys who I think are ahead of him. Y'all go ahead.
now let Free cook. Go ahead.
okay. Let me say this real quick before you go, B3. You said the opponent matters, and you said that he should have stepped on him because he was coming from a lower weight class. Even though Lamont has already fought more fights at 135 than Tank has, that doesn't matter. But where did you have Magnum ranked that as a pro fighter if you say the opponent matters, because Magnumov wasn't on nobody's radar. We've seen Lamont Roach fight. I don't recall anybody saying they saw Magnumov fight before he fought Bud Crawford.
Well, Bud Crawford was moving up to a 154, a weight class he had never been, and he got in there with the champion at that weight class. So it's different in that sense. Not only that, I thought that was a definitive win for Bud Crawford. I thought Madrimov gave up the first 4 rounds. I thought that was a clear 8-4 win for Bud. I understand it was a tough fight towards the end, but I don't think that was like a shaky decision or anything like that.
Nah, definitely
No,
wasn't a shaky.
You said the opponent matters.
Yeah, the dude
You
Bud
said the
Crawford was
opponent.
moving up to a new
You said
weight
the
class to
opponent
fight
matters.
my. Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you said the opponent matters. You said when you have a close fight matters. The opponent matters. You knew about Magnumov. You knew about Lamont Roach. Y'all was sitting there saying Lamont Roach wasn't a good fighter, and I told you he was. I said
That's
Lamont
a
Roach is
fact.
a solid opponent. I told y'all he
They
was.
kept bringing up Jamel Herring.
Right. Y'all kept bringing up, oh, but Jamel Herring beat him. So what? The man is a good fighter. Because he lost one fight doesn't mean that he's not a good fighter. I told
Wow.
y'all he was a solid opponent. Y'all kept saying that Lamont Roach wasn't. So because y'all in mind, y'all thought Lamont Roach wasn't a good fighter, it automatically.
You broke
Can
you
you hear
broke up
Free?
Free. Nah, he went out. You went out Free because because you're traveling. I'm gonna say
Well,
this.
when I
I'm gonna
go
say
ahead,
this
go ahead.
with Freeze 100% right. A lot of people were dismissing Lamont. They thought that Lamont they didn't do their research for one, which a lot of fans don't do, but also they was under the impression that Tank was so far and ahead above everybody that they only wanted to see him versus Shakur. Salute to my brother BVO in the building. The Sports Talk Network is in the building. Now, they so that's really what it came down to. Everybody, nobody did no research on Lamont, and when Tank took the fight, it was because everybody wanted to see Tank lose or in just a really tough opposition that they dismissed Lamont. That was a bad move. Um, now let me flip the top. Let's get off of Tank for a quick second because anytime you talk Tank, BVO he gets real excited. Um, who outside of this do y'all feel like Dimitri Bivol does he get does he get the credit that he deserves in the sport? Do y'all how where's Bivol on your pound for pound and what's your thoughts on Bivol?
I absolutely think Bivol gets the credit he deserves. Before he beat Beterbiev, I thought he got a little bit too much credit, for that Canelo win. Where again, it's a guy that was smaller than Bivol and moved up to fight to face Bivol. Like that's somebody who Bivol was supposed to beat. Not only just because Canelo was a smaller guy, but because Bivol's skill set is terrible for Canelo. But I absolutely think he gets the credit he deserves, especially for how he came back in that rematch. And I thought he definitively won that fight. I thought he really took the fight to Beterbiev.
You went out, Marky.
Yeah, he went out.
Yeah,
Nah,
we go ahead,
I
Free.
give Bill. Yeah, I give
Yeah,
Bivol credit
well,
for Canelo.
let me just finish because I got to get back
What?
on the phone for you. Just very quick. Yeah, I give Bivol all that credit, especially how he came back in that rematch. It was beautiful to see. And I thought he really put it on Beterbiev. But y'all go ahead.
Yeah, I give him. I give Bivol credit for the Canelo because Canelo was the more experienced fighter. He fought at that weight class before. And Canelo thought that it was an easy win. He saw that Bivol only had like 18 fights, and he thought it was an easy win. And Bivol went in there and he beat Canelo. He beat Canelo at his own game. Um, but the Arthur fight, I give him credit for the second fight. I thought the first fight clearly Arthur won the first fight, but the second fight I give him credit for that. I thought he pulled it out in the second fight. A lot of people believe that Arthur won the second fight. I think Bivol won the second fight. I think both guys won their respective fights. I don't think it was any foul play as far as the judging wise. I think each one of them won their fight respectively.
And I'm in full agreement with you. Uh, our brother BVO says Canelo got robbed. Well, that's your opinion, BVO. Anything Canelo do, he walks on water to you. Canelo can do no wrong. BVO will see Canelo out drinking and partying, and and BVO won't see no wrong in it. He'll pass him the tequila. So that's the kind of fan BVO is, man. He gonna support Canelo no matter what. Let me ask you this, Free. Where is Canelo ranked on your pound for pound?
Yeah, BBO be tripping.
Where you got Free? Where you got Canelo ranked on your pound for pound?
Number. I got him like number 7.
Yeah. And see, and the thing about it is that what he's done for the sport of boxing, he's and if you do his all his accolades, people will put him higher, but you can't really do that. Now, is he still the undisputed champion? Yes. Is he still beating the young top guys? I mean, young hungry guys. I won't say top because he didn't fight Benavidez. And he's also passing on the Morrell fight, but uh, see, the thing about it is that Canelo is still he's still the champion at 168, even though we could see that his skill set is kind of waning. You know what I'm saying? He's looking old. He's in silk sheets.
My bad,
He
fellas.
has a
I'm back.
Okay, I'm bring you right in, Marky. Canelo has a beautiful wife, a beautiful family. He's in Dolce and Gabbana, pajamas most of the time, and sleeping in fine linens. So of course he's gonna, possibly take a little lapse, a little step back. But it's okay, BVO. You still have El General Emiliano Vargas to take the torch. Now, Marky, I'm not sure where you left off on, but let me just ask you this. You left off on Bivol. Did you get to talk about Bivol?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
you
think he
did
gets
talk
the credit
about
he
Bivol.
deserves. Yeah.
Okay, is this Coach Tommy right here? Hold on. I know that's his logo, but I don't want nobody to be okay, that is my brother. Okay, cool. Did I bring okay, I got Coach Tommy in the building. Salute Coach Tommy. I'm gonna swing it to you in 1 second, Coach. Let me bring Marky. He was about to speak on Bivol.
Absolutely. I'll just listen in for a little while and you let me know.
Appreciate you, Coach.
What's up?
You were saying Bibble's pound for pound status. Where do you view him, and
Uh,
then and also you could speak on Canelo and where you see him as well.
I got Bivol right there at number 5. I think he's a top 5 pound for pound opponent. I think his skill set that he's displayed, as well as the opponents he's been in there with. I think he's well deserving of that number 5 spot. Um, yeah, yeah. I think
Oh,
he's deserving of that.
appreciate that, Marky. Coach, what's good, man? Hold on, I'm about to get on camera. Appreciate you, Coach, for coming on. Listen, I gotta ask you this really quick, right? I need to know who's your top guy in the sport right now. Who would you consider your number one pound for pound and why?
Okay, first I just got to state two things. I base my pound for pound criteria on number one, who would beat who right now if they was all the same size. That not how good you was. Da, da, da. Now, when considering people who are very similar, then I might consider their body of work as evidence. The other thing, I know people don't consider heavyweights, but if my criteria is if they was all the same size, why can't I count the heavyweights? So I count heavyweights. With that being
Mhm.
said, right now I'm kind of torn between Usyk and Terrence Crawford.
Mm.
I really am. I'm almost giving Usyk, although Bud is my favorite fighter, man. I'm almost ready to give Usyk the edge because of not only what he did at cruiserweight, what he did at heavyweight is remarkable. He didn't beat Fury once, he beat him twice. He had when he got dropped or hit with the low blow, whichever side you call it on. After on the first Dubois fight, after that he got up and beat that man into submission, and then fought him again and with an
Yes, he
even
did.
better performance. I just talked myself into it. I got Bud and Usyk tied, man. And the
Top
reason
one
I
and
got
one.
him tied, I think Bud's skill set is just as good as Usyk. If not, maybe better. I don't know. I'm splitting hairs between them two. That's all I got.
I'm already knowing. You got Bud, you got Usyk. Marky had Usyk, and Free had Bud. So you split the difference. So it's still 2-2 for each of them. I might break the tie a little later.
And
Let me.
I didn't hear nothing. None of y'all said. I literally just came
Brett,
on, so that's kind of
y'all know
cool.
y'all know the sport. Y'all know the sport. Now let me ask you this: Monster Inoue, how are you viewing him in the pound for pound and just his overall status in boxing?
I'm putting Monster in a way. I would say between between 3 and 5. I gotta say between 3 and 5. Um, I don't think he gets enough credit for his skills. We know he's aggressive. We know he hits hard. His footwork is really good, man. The man is skillful. He's done this throughout several weight divisions. I think he's twice undisputed. If I'm wrong, correct me. Um, and his dominance over his opponents. But the only little question I have not now is when I consider the opposition. he fought what's there. I can't blame him for what's there. So here's my thing, right? When you have a fighter who people say, oh, who people think is really good, and they say, well, he hasn't fought nobody. Well, now I look at these no so-called nobodies and B levels you fought. Did you struggle with them? Because the A level shouldn't be struggling with a B level. But if you absolutely dominated these B level fighters, then you're clearly A level. You're a level above. You know what I'm saying? Whether you had that competition or not. And I clearly believe that man is an A level fighter. I'm I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him 4 and Bivol 3.
Okay. Okay, I like that. Bivol 3, Canelo 4.
Canelo. No, no,
Dang.
no, no. Nah, no, no, no. Monster 4. I ain't even got Canelo in the top 10 no more.
Oh wow, no Canelo in the top 10. Okay.
No, no way in the world
Um
I could do that because
Me
although
neither.
he has a body of work, he's his performances lately are just not impressive no more. He's not the same dude no more.
Nah, I'm in agreement with you. So outside of that, okay, so now we got to talk about the elephant in the room. Uh, as we know, possibly the most skilled fighter in the sport of boxing, Sugar Shakur Stevenson, Bright Light Stevenson. What's y'all thoughts on Shakur? And is he in the? Is I see he's in Marky's pound for pound, but let me start with Coach. I'm gonna go to Free and Marky. Where's Shakur in your pound for pound, Coach?
I could put him as 5, man. I could put him at 5 because once again, man, nothing but sheer dominance. Levels above his competition. I forgot what the ratio is for every time he gets hit, how many punches he lands. It's like number one or number two in the whole sport. I mean, if the other boxers hit and not get hit, like that one statistic says a whole lot. He's fought a good level of competition, and though people shit on for the De Los Santos effort, I personally am super impressed with that because I believe his shoulder was injured, and I personally fought a man coming out of shoulder surgery, and I got all living shit beat out of me. So I understand what that feels like. That is the most impressive thing in the world for a boxer to win with one hand against world class competition. So yeah, I'm gonna put him at 5. I'm putting him above Tank too. Yeah, I'm putting him above Tank.
Yeah, y'all see my list. I got him at 9. I think and I've always thought for a very long time that Shakur is special, or at least his ability, his reflexes, his hand speed, his ability to manage distance, like all of that stuff is special. Like some of the, like one of the things when you talk about his reflexes, you look at Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather. I'm trying to think of somebody. Sweet Pea Whitaker. If you look at all those guys, they have unbelievable eye focus. Like they never blink, no matter what. They could be getting, it could be a flurry of punches coming their way. They are the calm and storm, and they don't take their eyes off their opponent at all whatsoever. And they just seem like they know what punches are coming before you even think to throw it. So I got him at 9. Even though I think the ability and the eye test, and like you said, with the De Los Santos fight, even though I tax him heavily for that performance, at least with how I feel about him, I can admit that it takes a special type of fighter when you have a broken hand to get in there and still find a way to eke out a fight and not really have no welts, no bruises on your face or anything like that. You know, I might call it cowardly, but I can admit a lot of people can't do that. But I got him at 9. I still think Zepeda is a good opponent. I'm not going to take that away from him. But I still would like to see him against a Tank or what's the name outside of Tank? I've been wanting to see him against for a while. Keyshawn already left. Um, it's really Tank for me, man. Like, if he were to beat Tank, I might put him in my top 5.
Mm. Yeah, that's a fight he probably won't get. I'm not sure. Free, you in the building?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
So let me. So what's your thoughts on Shakur and your top and your pound for pound?
I got him number 10. Um, I don't know what Tommy or Monkey Dan talking about. That man didn't throw any punches to hurt his daggone hand. That man said he got in the fight with a hurt hand.
And shoulder.
Um, I just no, I didn't that. I mean, I just heard Monkey Dan give Tank Dave took Tank Dave off his pound for pound for fighting to a draw in a daggone fight, and and he got Shakur at number 9, but Shakur and Dago De Los Santos set the record for the least amount of punches thrown or landed. So I'm not. I'm in a 12-round fight. I'm not giving him no praise for what happened in the De Los Santos fight. That man got in the ring. He knew what he signed up for. I don't care about none of their excuses. They don't make no excuses for none of these other fighters. Not making no excuses for him. But no, I got him in. I got him at number 9 right now because I look at if all these guys were the same size, who do I think that will win that fight? And right now, I think there's. I think there. I mean, I'm sorry, I got him number 10. I think there's 9 other guys that will beat him if they was all the same size.
I got you. I got you free 100%. So, man, this is a great conversation. Pound for pound, top fighters in the sport of boxing. Now I gotta put y'all gotta put your hardcore hat on. I know Marky put Junto in his top 10 pound for pound. Thoughts on Junto Nakatani? I'll start with you, Marky. Why does Junto all the way at 6 on your pound for pound over Bam and Boots, Shakur and Better Be? Marky may have fell down the steps. Nah, he's at work right now. Coach, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, champ.
Let me ask you about Junto. What's your thoughts on him? And how much have you seen of
Honestly, I've never seen him fight not once, so I can't comment on it. Yeah, I've heard about him,
He's a
and I've
4
been
a.m.
meaning
shorty.
to, but I can't even. I've never seen him fight.
Junto, bring yourself back to the States. He did stop he stopped Andrew Maloney on the Devin Haney Lomachenko undercard. That was a 12-round fight. That was actually a good fight, but he punished Maloney and he had like a knockout of the year candidate in round 12. That was, I believe, that they may have been his only USA fight, but I know that was his most recent fight, which was of course about 5, 6 fights ago, a couple years back. So I can definitely understand why you haven't seen Junto. And as
Man,
far as go ahead, free.
I know I was gonna say I don't understand how he got Nakatami at number 6 and he don't have a Dula Mason on his pound for pound at all. And I'm like, what has Nakatami shown you to say he's better than Abdullah Mesa? Against what level of opponent that he showed you that he's better than Abdullah Mason? That's where I'm a little thrown off because, like you said, the only guy that he fought in the states was daggone the brother what's his name Maloney.
Yeah.
That was that's the only guy that he fight as a notoriety. I'm like, he hasn't fought anybody for me to say he's number 6. I don't even
Yeah.
got him on my pound for pound at all. He hasn't fought anybody to be on my pound for pound. I'm not sold on a Maloney. The same way I'm not
Mhm.
sold on a lot of guys that Abdullah Mesa fought, but I see the skill level that Abdullah Mesa has, and I think he has fought in better competition than Nakatami has fought. That's why I actually dropped Abdullah Mesa down because of his the opponents where he got dropped in. And I'm like, you got a little bit of flaws. Because up until then, I didn't really see any flaws in Abdullah Mason. But that I did see some flaws in that fight. But, I mean, he overcame it and stopped the man in the second round. But I did see a flaw, so I had to drop him down. So I got Abdullah Mason at number 8, but I don't have Nakatami nowhere in my pound for pound.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this about Nakatani. I was loving Junto, man. He's a fan friendly fighter. I've been watching him over his last couple of fights. I've been kind of assessing him in comparison to Inoue, and because they're preparing to fight, and I just don't see it. I don't see his defense. I think he's strong, but he doesn't have power like Inoue has. I like you said, the resume is not there. His best win is possibly Maloney or Nishida, the guy that he just stopped in 6 rounds, who he unified with. So Mr. Honda out there in Japan, he definitely is learning from top rank matchmaking. He's pretty much he moves his fighters extremely well at those lower weights, gets them in title contention, and he has quite a few multiple division champions on his roster. I think if Junto was to run into a Bam Rodriguez, I think Bam would hurt and stop Junto. But that's not taking anything away from Junto. I do think Junto is good in his own right,
Say that one more time.
but I believe Bam will stop Junto.
We could put 100 on that. I think Junto would put hands and feet on him. I think Junto Nakatani is the reason why that pussy cat
I
is
take your
staying
100,
at
Marky.
I that's 100 right there. You want the 100 too, B3?
I would definitely take the 100.
That's two 100s going in my pocket because
How about
that
300,
scaredy
champ?
cat
How
Bam
about 300?
Rodriguez is
He
staying at
did three.
115 because he's
Ooh, coach said, hold on,
terrified of Junto.
I'll put a
hold
100
on.
on that.
That's three
He-
100s coming my way. That's three.
hey. With all due respect, marking your backside out.
No, that man Nakatami is nothing but a Japanese version of Matias. That man take punches to the face on a regular.
and
You take
free and
punches from you take punches to
bruh.
the face from Bam Rodriguez, you're going to sleep early.
Yeah,
Man,
man.
Bam
That's what
take
I would
punches
think.
to the face from Junto Nakatani. He going to bed late or early. I
Bam
want to
don't
see
take
it.
punches to the face.
Nah, Bam.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he fighting a bunch of little old men. Get in there with a young lion. He gets smoked.
he just fought a
Okay.
young guy. He just fought a crafty African, and he
Don't tell
Fight
him
off.
gets
nothing. Don't tell him
crafty,
nothing.
hard hitting Japanese man, Japan man.
Don't tell him nothing. Don't tell him nothing.
Is he an Islander too, Junto?
Yeah, Islander. That's why he took the bet.
Marky didn't put himself out. But listen, Junto is a good fighter. You got to understand though, it's just at the top level, defense is key, man. And when you getting hit by the man, listen, man, you got to get your head off the line. That last fight was not impressive, but he definitely does. He got. I mean, he got a good work rate. But I think that in a way work rate is going to be too much for him. But let me think, man. Before we
Ah, my bad.
close
I'm
out.
back.
Nah, before we close out this show, man, what y'all? I mean, y'all got any thoughts? I mean, anybody that we omitted that we didn't discuss? Oh, Devin Haney. Devin Haney. I mean, he's a perennial pound for pound guy. Of course, after the Ryan fight, he kind of fell off, and they tried to put him back on, and then they moved him off because Shakur had a great performance. And he kind of didn't at Times Square. Y'all, is Devin, where's Devin? I mean, I know he's not on Marky's 10. Free, is he in your 10? Coach, is he in your 10 or is he out of the 10?
He in
I
my
got him.
15.
I got him honorable mention. I didn't like that fight against Jose Ramirez. That fight right there, it knocked him out of the top 10 because even though you faced some adversity in your last fight and it was some foul play in that last fight, um, if you're a pound for pound fighter, you're supposed to be able to bounce back. And I didn't like the way he fought that fight. He fought that fight, in my opinion, he fought scared, and he didn't want to take he didn't want to take no punishment. He didn't want to engage at all, and I just didn't like that, and I had to put him at audible mention. I got him number 11. He right outside of the top
You
10.
you know somebody who I feel like who I completely forgot about? Jayo Pataya. I think I can find space for him in my top 10. But about
Jai.
Haney,
I don't know if you, it sounded like you cut free off on my end, but that was probably because
No,
I was
no,
walking
no.
no, I
outside.
thought Free was
He
done.
good.
But
No, he good. He good.
Yeah, no, but about Devin Haney, no, I don't got him in my top 10 anymore. that performance, even though I did think he won 10-2, I mean, I don't think that was the best look. I don't think he could fight that way against Brian Norman and hope that he got a win. So I got him somewhere between probably 12 and 15 on my top 15.
I could say I just I was doing this off the top of my head. I said my first five. I got my 6 through 10 written down, and I don't see no Devin Haney in there. Now, if he proves himself at 147, considering his body of work, if he can do what he does at 147, then I'm gonna have to reconsider it. But considering my 6 through 10, I'll just say it quick. I can't see him better than Benavidez. He's not better than Tank. He's not better than Bam. He ain't better than Boots. And I love what I see out of Abdullah Mason. And just as Free said, his last performance was really not impressive. Let me reiterate that. I was not impressed with his unwillingness to engage, except when he was forced to. However, when he was forced to, he did show you he still got them crisp counter puncher skills. He still got great footwork. He still has great condition. I don't take that away from him. But let me see what he does at 147, and maybe I can find a spot for him.
Now, of course, y'all know as being B3 and one of the number one Haney fans, he always has a spot on my top pound for pound. No, no, just joking. Um, nah, it's kind of unfortunate. But that's what happens. In boxing, and you got ups and downs. Guys lose fights. I mean, the Floyd Mayweather Andre Ward. Only a few guys gonna get out of boxing with that O. Um, so I mean, that's just what it is. I think if he beats Norman, I would consider Devin more than likely a top five pound for pound. Of course, depending on how he looks in the fight. Um, I just feel like once you start going through divisions, and now I can't deny the resume, and then the names on the resume. But of course, y'all know it always gonna come down to how you look in the ring. I'm trying to make sure. Okay, now we're gonna get in Jao Pataya, the cruiserweight division. Like, does anybody care? Is Jao Pataya really top 10 pound for pound?
Nah, I
I
don't.
got him on
I don't.
my Yeah, I got him at number 11 on my list. It's not really nothing up there for Opatai. It's pretty much a dead division. I think he should either move down to 75 or head yourself all or make the jump to heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Start building your muscle.
Yeah, I mean, at cruiserweight, is nothing there to really test him. So I don't know exactly how good he is. I know that he has skill levels, but you can have skill when you in there with a bunch of guys that's not on your level. If you're a guy that's a B level and you fighting a whole bunch of D levels, you're gonna look highly skilled. But then when you get in there with an A level, they were like, oh dang, I thought he was better than that. So I don't know really how good he is because there's not a whole lot of competition up there. I believe he could beat everybody at cruiserweight. Now we were doing a top pound for cruiserweight. He's number one. But when we talk about the sport of boxing, I don't know how good he is because there's no competition there.
I'm in agreement. Marky, coach, y'all want to get on that? Jao
Yeah,
Pataya?
No, no, what? Yeah, no, I just said it. I think he has great ability. I think he's very athletic. He's a great counter puncher. Has some leaky defense, but he usually makes up for that by putting the other dude to sleep. I think he the best up there, but like I said, and like what Free says, nobody up there for him. I think you should move up or move down. It's nothing there for you.
I'm partially in agreement. I'm partially in agreement with that. That he did. He cleaned out that division, man. That's something I love seeing a fighter do instead of just bouncing up and down divisions. But he took care of all the business in that division. He went life and death twice with Marco Breedis. Um, his skill set to me, just as I like complete skill sets, and the way he blocks punches with his face, the man go to heavyweight, he might die in that ring. So, but I got him just outside of the top 10.
Now, that's a good point. I want to piggyback on that. The fight that everybody, well, that keeps getting mentioned and or alluded to is Jao Pataya and David Benavidez. I need y'all thoughts on who y'all have in that fight and would y'all want to see that fight?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that fight. I think I think David Benavidez gets to fight a guy who's naturally a cruiserweight, who's highly skilled at that weight. And we could see exactly what David Benavidez is really built of. And I definitely would favor David Benavidez in that fight because, like Tommy said, Jai Obertai take too many punches to the face.
Bro.
Yeah, you're skilled, but with that skill, you should be able to avoid those punches because of your skill level. You're supposed to be able to avoid those,
Eh,
and he doesn't avoid those punches. And I don't think with a guy like David Benavidez who throws 10 to 12 combinations that you can avoid all of those punches. If you can't avoid one punch, you're not going to be able to avoid 12 punches. You're not going to be able to avoid the 10 punch combination. You can't avoid
Okay.
one. So I think David Benavidez wins that fight unanimously. I don't think he stops him, but I think he wins unanimously.
Just quickly, this has nothing to do with boxing, but rest in peace to Hulk Hogan, the NWO captain, the man that carried wrestling through most of the '80s and to a part of the '90s. Man, that's crazy. Rest up, Hulker. Rest up, Hulkster.
You went out on mine a little bit, but I hope the people heard you, Marky. I heard a little bit, but rest in peace, the great Hulk Hogan. He had a great life. He did wonderful things in pro wrestling and entertainment in general. So yeah, salute to Hulk Hogan and we wish his family well.
No, absolutely, man. That's shocking to me.
Back to the pound for pound. We was on Ja versus Benavidez. What you think about that fight, Marky?
Opataya Benavidez. I'd favor Opataya in that fight. I think he's bigger. I think he's more athletic. I mean, let's not act like Benavidez's defense isn't leaky itself. I mean, Benavidez almost encourages you to punch him in his face so that he can have the opportunity to punch you back. So, I mean, I think that would be a firefight. I think Opataya being the less flat-footed fighter, being having athletic feet and being able to move, I do think that that will benefit him. But at the same time, that didn't benefit David Morrell. He got drawn into a war, and we saw what happened. He almost got stopped and lost pretty decisively. So it all depends. It all depends on what I think Jairo Pataya wants to do in that fight. If he decides to go in there and make it the type of fight Benavidez likes, where it's close quarters, y'all just standing toe to toe and swinging away, Benavidez has a very good chance of winning that fight. But if he uses his tools, I could see him win. I could see Opataya winning that fight decisively.
Yeah, I don't doubt Benavides no more. Let me tell you. One of the things that surprised me about Benavides, if you look the number up, I don't remember the exact number, but look up how many times he gets hit to how many punches he lands. It's actually one of the most impressive in the sport right now. It's actually fairly high up there. Um, Secondly, he had a tough fight with Morrell, but it really wasn't that tough. You know what I'm saying? It worked out the way the rest of his fights work. His body of work is crazy impressive. Crazy impressive body of work. I don't he got the hand speed over Opataya. I think he has better defense than Opataya. His conditioning is incredible. Now, would that be the same carrying the extra 20 pounds? That's the only question I have. I give Benavidez a slight edge.
Yeah, I mean, I think when Benavidez goes up, I think he'll be fine at cruiserweight, and possibly even bridge or heavyweight. Uh, I gotta ask this while we here. Um, if Brian Norman Jr. Can stop Devin Haney, would y'all consider Brian Norman Jr.? Is that enough to put him in the pound for pound conversation?
No,
No,
Uh,
not 10, just outside of 10.
No, no.
no, I don't know. I don't think that he done enough to be a top 15 just by beating Devin Haney. I would say that's a good start, but I don't think that's enough to be inside of the top 15. We're talking about a bunch of guys who's already got a stacked resume over top of Brian Norman, and they're just adding to their resume. He's just starting to build his resume. So I think he still has a ways to go before I could even consider putting him in the top 15, let alone the top 10.
Now, it may have been my audio. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask this, Coach Tommy, because really, and the guys they didn't really speak on it too much when we got the bum Gardner. Um, I put and we pretty much consider Clarissa as the number one uh women's boxer in the world. Do you have any argument to that? And to that claim as the GOAT? And are there any women fighters that you want to mention in your top pound for pound?
There's one I want to mention that's no longer fighting. She doesn't get her props in the history of women's boxing because she's one of the few women that was knocking shit out. Was Lucia Riker from Spain. Um, However, Clarissa Shields is the greatest woman fighter in history, hands down. She the GOAT. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with you. I mean, she's just done too much for the sport. Two-time gold medalist, three-time undisputed champion through four divisions now: 154, 160, 168, and 175. Undisputed heavyweight champion. So, her resume speaks for itself. I love Katie Taylor. Great fighter. Pound for pound, number two, in my opinion. And then also I want to mention um those are the top two that I'm gonna leave right now. I think they stand above. I think Clarissa stands in a class of her own. She's never lost, never even had a close fight. Out there, do think Katie is second, but then it's kind of some space. It's definitely some space and some room for somebody like a Gabriella Fondora, to be a top pound for pound. Clarissa said something really big. I want to ask y'all this. Clarissa said something really big. She said that but she's gonna pass the torch. And we know what that means in the sport of boxing. Like if you could beat the champ at the end, you'll be on and you'll be the best or whatever. So if somebody gonna build himself up, uh Clarissa's not gonna deny that young lady an opportunity at the throne. Do y'all feel is that common? Because and Marky, you're a historian as well. Is that common in the sport? Because Clarissa was kind of mentioning that Layla did not do that. She did not pass the torch, and she believes that's why boxing kind of died. With women's boxing kind of died a little bit. Do y'all feel is that a thing in the sport of boxing to pass the torch on? And
Uh,
how do y'all feel about that?
absolutely. Well, it was before. Now, the guys like the Canelos, the Floyd Mayweathers, they don't believe in that anymore. They said, "I'm not gonna get beat. I'm not gonna go in there with a young dude who's extremely skilled, who's probably gonna beat me. No, I'm absolutely not gonna do that. I'm gonna leave the sport with all my money intact and with all my marbles." And it Oscar De La Hoya, he did what he was supposed to do for the sport. That's because that's what passing the torch is about. It's not about you. It's about the sport. It's about the culture. And if you had a real love for boxing, at least I would hope that you would consider passing the sport as well as your notoriety and your fame on to the next young guy who's coming up. We saw Oscar do it with Floyd and Manny. We saw Chavez Senior do it with Oscar De La Hoya. We saw who did Oh my god. Holyfield. Who did Holyfield fight? Oh my god.
Chris Bird,
No, not Chris Bird. No,
Lennox
no, no, no,
Lewis.
no. I'm thinking of Lennox Lewis. My bad, my bad. We saw Lennox Lewis. Even though he didn't give him the rematch, he gave him a shot. He gave Vitaly Klitschko a shot before he got up out the door. But no, passing the torch now in boxing, it's absolutely ruining boxing. We should have been got Bud Crawford versus Boots Ennis before he moved up. That fight should have happened, no question about it. I could probably, if you give me a second, I could probably think of a couple of other situations where we should Benavidez and Canelo. That's a fight we've been dying to see. And now the only guys I really see who's trying to pass the torch is Monster Inoue. He came out this year at the Japanese Boxing Awards and called out Junto Nakatani and told him, "Hey, young man, be ready in 1 year, and we could get it on." So that's really the only person I see right now who's trying to pass the torch. The rest of these guys, they focus on themselves, their own health and their own careers, and you can't necessarily be mad at that. But at the same time, those fights we wanted to see, like what I just called out, the Boots Ennis and Bud Crawford, the Canelo and the Benavidez, that shit kills the sport. When we got the top dudes ducking probably the best fights they can make at the top. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the sport of boxing is different from other sports. Like when you got basketball, you got NBA players that passes the torch. You got football players that passes the torch. With boxing is one man against everybody else. So it's not about passing the torch. It's about the next man taking the torch. So if you want the torch, you got to go take it. And if you don't get an opportunity with the current champion, you do like David Benavidez did. You go make your own lane and bring everybody to watch you fight. If he don't want to give you the opportunity, okay, say okay, well he don't want to give me opportunity. I'm gonna fight all of the other best guys in the division or in the next division. I'm gonna fight all the best guys, so people are gonna gravitate to me because I'm fighting all of the best guys. That like when we talk about passing the torch, it's not so much of passing the torch. It's about you taking it. Like Canelo Alvarez, he took the torch when Floyd Mayweather left the sport of boxing because they was looking for who's going to be the next superstar. Canelo Alvarez stepped up and said, "I'm going to be the next superstar." He started fighting everybody, or he didn't say started fighting, but after he lost to Floyd, he continued on fighting the big name guys. Now they might not have been at the top of their career, what these young fighters got to do. If these guys, these top level guys, are not willing to give you the opportunity to get in the ring, then you go fight everybody else and say, okay, either you fight me or you duck me because I beat everybody else. You the last one left. And the boxer fans will see, yeah, this man ain't trying to fight him, he's ducking him. So it's about you taking that spot, not somebody giving you that spot.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with both of y'all, and just maybe just put in different words, kind of my understanding what D Free is saying. The way I see it, based on what he said, because that's great insight, D Free. Is that it's about giving someone the opportunity to take that torch
Right.
or not. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the biggest things. I was disappointed with Floyd Mayweather when for his 50th fight, instead of Keith Thurman, he took on Andre Berto, who's like lost like three out of his last five. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a sucker move, to be honest. And I think he would beat Keith Thurman. That's what made me more mad about it.
Yeah, it was a
Mhm.
lot of dudes at that time, like Kell Brook. The IBF mandated that, but Floyd wasn't. I don't think Floyd was trying to pay no sanction fee, so he just gave up that belt. Um, yeah, I think it was Thurman and Kell Brook were pretty much the two dudes at that time.
Yeah.
If you were gonna pass the torch,
Yeah, 100%. I believe Keith Thurman was definitely in position to fight Floyd. Floyd wasn't looking back, didn't give him an opportunity. Now, with that being said, I mean, we kind of been cooking on pound for pound. So let me mention a couple of people that are probably like right outside that could possibly be pound for pound. Some people that we haven't mentioned in a minute. Now, let's say a how far is Jamil Charlo from a top 10 pound for pound? And would y'all want and who do y'all want to
He
see Charlo back in the ring with?
uh I mean, right now, I mean, he's not even on, like, if I made a top 30, he's definitely not in my 30. Like, no, like, I mean, how many years has it been since he fought Canelo? Like, two? And before that, he had to sit out for another year and a
Got to be
half or two
worthy to
years
fight the champ, though.
because of
Remember though,
what.
Marky, he never lost his titles at 154. And ultimately, who has really proven himself to fight Jamil? Do
But
you do?
one fight, but hear what I'm saying for B3. One fight in almost 4 years.
It's bad. It's a bad look. It's a but you
Come
got
on now.
after stopping Castano. Let
Who
me.
you talking about?
We talking about Jamil. I was asking.
That was like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years. You said 4 years.
No, but no. But when did he fight? But when did he fight Castano before that Canelo fight?
He fought
That's my point. So
Castano.
that's
He fought
one fight
Castano.
in.
He
Go
fought
ahead. Go ahead.
Castano a few months prior to that. He fought Castano like earlier.
No,
I
he had
think it
a
was like
hand injury. Remember, he
I
had
think
to
it was
sit
like
Yeah,
out
but
for.
no
he was gonna fight
no.
Tim too, and then he went into the and then
He
he
went
went
into
into
the
the Canelo
Canelo
fight.
fight.
Yeah.
He fought Brian Castano in February. I think it was like February. He
No,
fought
it
Brian
was May.
Castano.
I'm looking at it. It's May 2022. He fought Castano. He fought Canelo in September 30th of 2023. So
Yeah,
that's
so
a
a year
year and
later.
4 months.
Mhm.
So
So
that's
it hasn't
about
even
three
been
years.
two, but he ain't been off 2 years, so that's what I'm saying. Don't get disrespectful.
Mm,
Yeah, he and listen. Let's be clear. He pretty much retired Castano. The fashion that he did it, coming back, and ultimately we got to give him respect. He came back and stopped Tony Harrison. Before you know what I'm saying, when Tony Harrison was still at the top. I mean, Jamel. Uh, I can't listen to what I'm saying. A lot of these guys, even Canelo gets a body of work argument a lot of the times. We don't really like the his active opposition. We feel like he kind of moved around David Benavidez and things of that nature, right? So with Jamel, yes, he's been out of the ring almost 2 years, but I do still have to. He said he's coming back to the sport of boxing, so I want to know from y'all perspective. Do y'all want to see him at 60, or give me a name, give me somebody Jamel can fight?
I
I
would
mean,
like to
at
see him at
54.
60. I'd like to see him at 60 against Landy Lara. I'd love to see that fight.
I mean,
Chanabek.
at 60, there's only maybe a handful of guys. It's not even a full handful of guys at 60. It's two guys at the top of the division, and then it's everybody else. So at 60, it's really nothing for him to come back to unless he's fighting Laura or Jennebeck. If he ain't fighting one of those guys, it ain't really nothing at 60. But when we talk about 54, you can put him in there with anybody. It ain't a single person in there that's an easy test for a guy that's been out of the ring for 2 years. There's not a single guy in the top 10 or top 15 that you say is an easy test. So you can put him in there with anybody at 54.
Yeah, if he comes back at 54, I would like to see him versus Fondora. I think Fondora's proven himself. I think the people will buy into that fight. Like y'all saying, Coach, you said what'd you say about the Jamil Laura fight? You said a hard pass on that one.
No. If he just coming back after all this time, one, I don't believe in my heart he make 154 no more. Not when you that big, and not when you take that much time off, and not when you keep getting older, and not when you get, whatever you made, $12, $15 off of that Canelo bag. I personally believe that it's just I could be dead wrong, but I personally believe that Canelo was the sweepstakes. Once he got that bag, the hunger was gone. That's it. Mama, I made it. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Um, However, at his height at 154, I had him top two, pound for pound. His body of work was incredible. He fought everybody. He had a couple tough fights with Castano, but he came out on top on that second one. If he did come back, I think it would be at 60. Lara would be a tricky tune-up. You know what I'm saying? I love Lara. He about 64 years old. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then maybe a dude who I came around on, who I came to believe in a little bit now, is Carlos Adames. I see the improvements. I didn't like him before, but I see the improvements he's making. I see what he's doing. Carlos Adames would be a really nice test for Jamel Charlo. That would be a really good litmus test.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
that's a
like
that's a good fight.
I
That's a good fight.
yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Adamas. I think that's a great fight. All three of those fight, Jennebeck. I want to see the Lara. Because didn't no, I'm thinking of Andre. Never mind. But yeah, I'd love to see all three of those fights. But I'd like to also correct myself. I said Mel had one fight in 4 years. My apologies. He had one fight in 3 years and 1 month. My apologies. Good.
No, but yeah, I, I mean, Carlos Adonis is probably the best name you can give him at 50, at 60, without putting him in there in a championship fight. That's probably the best name you can give him. Because he's
Isn't
not going to
Adamas
come.
the WBC champ?
No, no. He just. I mean, he didn't have a title when he fought. When he fought Saraz, he didn't have a title. And they fought to a draw, so he would have kept the title if he had one. But
No,
he didn't have a
he is
title.
the WBC champ. Free.
There was
I'm
a
looking at
title on
it.
the line for the Saraz fight because I didn't see them hold no belt up at the end of that fight.
Let's see. Yes, it was. It says he retained the WBC belt against Shiraz.
I didn't even see them hold no belt up at the end of that fight. Maybe they was
Which
upset
fighter
that it
we
was a
which
draw.
fighter we talking about right now?
Adamas.
We talking
Carlos
about
Yeah,
Adonis.
yeah.
Adamas is
Adamas is
the
the
WBC
you know
champ,
the
right?
yeah he the WBC 160 champ right now. Yeah,
I didn't even know. I didn't even know that because I didn't even see no belt.
sure. That's the
Maybe
only
they was
reason
they
Shiraz
was
was in the
upset.
ring with him. Trust me on that.
Maybe
He had that
maybe they
WBC
was
belt.
upset that it was a draw because I didn't see no belt.
Listen, Adamas is the only reason he got that opportunity. Unfortunately, is because he had that belt. And they almost well they did rob Adamas. Let's keep it a stack. Adamas won that fight easily, and but by the grace of God, he was able to get the draw and keep the belt. They didn't want to. I mean, they didn't want to completely look bad, but they was close to. Now,
I mean,
as
yeah,
we
I think Carlos Adonis won that fight, but I will say prior to Saraz getting his hand injured, he was he was beating Carlos Adonis prior to his hand being injured.
mm,
But I think Carlos pulled it out. And once his hand got injured, Carlos started beating up his body and pressing the action, and Saraz couldn't really keep him off of him because he only had one hand.
mhm.
Um,
So
but
that excuse is good for Shiraz, but it's not good for Shakur. Okay, all right. I see what's happening here.
no, I said he lost. What are you talking about? I said he lost. There ain't no excuses. I said he lost.
Nah, I no, and in full agree. No, in full. You
I
could
didn't give
tell.
Saraz that fight. I'm not
Nah,
giving
he
him
don't get that
nothing.
fight.
That
He
man
don't.
lost.
He don't get that fight. Now back to pound for pound conversation. Because do y'all want to see Shiraz? Okay, Shiraz now he's got the stoppage over Berlanga. Is Shiraz okay? That was 168, so he's 168. Do
Hmm.
y'all want to see Shiraz get the Canelo Crawford winner? Is he? I
Why
mean, is
not?
he that
Uh,
high up?
Why not? I mean, he ain't Canelo.
Off
If
of off
Canelo
of a
beat
Berlanga win though, that he
no,
earned it really?
Canelo couldn't stop
I'm
Berlanga.
just saying. I'm saying why not? Because neither one of them want to fight David. Neither one of them want to fight David. Bud said David too big, and Canelo ain't trying to fight him. He ain't been trying to fight him for the last 4 years. So neither
That's
one of
the
them want
fight.
to
That's
fight
the
David.
you just said the fight then. That's the fight. Since you can
Yeah,
move up to 68 to stop Berlanga, and Canelo couldn't do it. Go up to 75 and stop David, or at least fight David. I want the
yeah.
Shiraz David fight. Now he might not even be a big enough name to do that, But that's really the fight because you gotta understand. Look at the size and dimensions. We already seen he was cutting a lot of weight to make 60 and 68. I would like to see David Shiraz.
Uh, Shiraz willingly going into a fight with Benavidez, I believe, is a suicide mission. That man will be martyred. He will get the 72 versions, the whole shit they promised. Like, it's over for him. Benavidez destroys him. I'm not impressed with Shiraz. Shiraz is good. Shiraz is a good fighter. He's a solid fighter. And hearing him talk in interviews and shit, I really like this dude character. I want to see him keep getting better. But he's good, but he better not fight Benavidez.
I'm gonna put it like this: if you say you don't want Shiraz to get the Canelo fight, who else at 168 do you want to see Shiraz in there with? I mean,
Iglesias.
you want him in there
No, I don't want
with
him to get stopped by
Mabidi?
Iglesias. Look, no, no, no. See, Tommy's building up his Cuban compadre, compatriot.
You want him in there with
Iglesias,
Chris Mabidi?
Iglesias will body Shiraz. And Billy, that's a good fight for him.
Yeah, real
That-
good fight. Hell yeah,
yeah, that's a
decent.
good fight for him. But now Iglesias he still gotta do some work. He's not
Who
gonna
the hell is
get the
Iglesias?
I mean, but if Iglesias got to
Osleys.
do some work, what work did Shiraz do even to get Berlanga? He clearly lost to Carlos Adames in any conscientious observer. He
Yeah.
went okay. He had a very good performance against
Well, I know
Wait,
what
Berlanga,
wait,
but
wait,
don't
wait, wait,
nobody
wait,
believe in
wait, wait.
Berlanga.
Hold on,
Hold on one
hold on.
second.
Don't cut.
Hold on one
Don't
second. You
don't don't
said
cut Tommy off now. We
Oh
ain't
no
we
no
ain't
no, my
doing
bad,
that.
my bad, my bad. But
Go-
let me just say, did you say what did he do to deserve a shot against Berlanga?
Even yeah.
On
Are
that
you
Even
stage,
crazy?
he got a big no. It was a
no,
big payday. It was
I
a
feel
big
you. Said.
stage. That's what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
Berlanga.
I mean, you know how that
Berlanga.
works, Tommy. He's a
He a turkey
Pakistani
boy. He
yeah,
turkey
he's a
boy.
Pakistani Muslim, a Sunni Muslim.
that's what I'm about to
They want
say.
him to be the face.
Yeah,
You know how
I
that is.
recognize that. I
Yeah.
recognize that.
That and it was a real diverse call. You had a Puerto Rican and Shakur Stevenson, Mexican and Williams Zepeda. You know what I'm saying? It was a very diverse call. You had another Puerto Rican from New York, Edgar Berlanga. Then you had a guy from the UK, a Muslim from the UK. So it was a great. It was that's what they're doing, man. They making it culture. They're doing like the NBA did years ago. They trying to diversify, go global. It's a
No,
global sport.
I was gonna say
Very smart.
that's the reason why he got both those fights. He got the Belinga fight is because he's Turkey's boy, and
Yeah.
at that time Belinga was with Eddie and he was working with Turkey, so they put them in the fight together. He's going to get the Canelo fight because Canelo signed to Turkey, and that man is signed to Turkey, so that's why he's going to get the fight.
Yeah, that makes sense
Or
now.
if it's Bud,
Yeah.
he's going to get the Bud fight because Bud is signed to Turkey and Shiraz is signed to Turkey. So either way, they all signed to Turkey. That's why the fight is going to happen.
I just got two little things on that. One not on that. D for your dogs is damn near as beautiful as mine. And the second thing I would say, I believe Shiraz is going to get better. I believe he is. I I feel bad like kind of talking down on him a little bit. Like I didn't want to come off like that because he seemed like a genuinely really good dude. He seemed like a hard worker. I could see he got room to grow, and I believe that man gonna work his ass off, and I think he will get better.
Let's be
Maybe
clear
one
though.
day he can handle Benavides, but right now, don't do that, man.
No, I don't believe we talking down on Shiraz. We just feel like we don't, as boxing fans and me specifically. I want good fights. I want 50-50 fights. I don't want Shiraz just to get thrown in there uh with Canelo just to make an event. Now
He might
me
beat Canelo.
personally, an event for me right now is Shiraz Mungia. Since
Yeah.
Mungia, he needs to come back and redeem himself.
Mhm.
Shiraz needs to prove himself. You didn't already stop Berlanga. Shiraz, go ahead and fight Mungia. And if you can stop Mungia, that builds up a Canelo fight. But I
Nah,
don't want him waiting, and I don't want no Chris Eubank fight. Absolutely not.
nah. You know who I want?
I would like Chris
I
Eubank.
want to see. I want to see Shiraz versus Diego Pacheco.
Good
I'm looking at
match.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rankings right now. Pacheco is number three. Shiraz is number two in the WBO. Bud Crawford is number one. I don't think that Canelo fight is necessarily a mandatory. So I wouldn't mind seeing those two get it on. Let that be an eliminator for that WBO belt. You know, we talk about Shiraz not being proven. I don't think Pacheco is proven, like at all whatsoever. So let's see who's the real and who's the fake.
That's the best match I heard yet. That hell yeah, Marky Dan. I'm riding with you on that all the way.
Absolutely, because I've been
Nah,
seeing
you
Pacheco. I like
time
him.
about time. Well, no, Pacheco. We're still building Pacheco. Pacheco. I don't know if Pacheco is ready for. I don't know if he's ready for that, man. I think she.
But
That's
hold on,
about
but
T.
see,
About
Trey,
he a couple. He about two fights away for that.
but you
About two
think
fights away.
Shiraz is a level below the top guys. So go ahead and put him in there.
She no, but he's below Canelo. I mean, the top guys is really Canelo. I mean, Bud at that. I mean, at that weight now, but I mean, Pacheco hasn't proven himself. I mean, he almost lost to Steve Nelson, and I see. I mean,
Damn, I didn't know that.
I didn't get. I mean, it was a close fight. I mean, he was Steve, it was a close fight, and then the last fight, I mean, he was minus 450 to stop McCumbee, and he didn't get that task done. So, I
McCombie.
I like Pacheco. I think he's young. That's all I'm saying. I don't. He's young, and his power is not carrying. He was showing a lot more power. I don't know if he needs to move up in weight or what, but or maybe it's just this. I mean, his competition is obviously getting better, but Caleb Plant was able to stop McCumbee. Um, I seen him also with Sean McCallum. Uh, Sean McCallum had a good fight with Pacheco. Almost beat
Oh shoot,
Pacheco.
I thought Pacheco was with Golden Boy. So
No, he
Shiraz
got
and
everybody.
Pacheco they both with Matchroom. That's even better.
Shiraz is with Queensberry and Frank Warren. Pacheco is
Oh yeah,
with
you're right. You're right.
Eddie
You're right. You're
Hearn.
right. You're right. You're right.
Um, Matchroom Boxing. Now that could, if they do a 5v5 or something like that, that does make sense. But I can't believe Coach Tommy done like the Munguia fight over the Pacheco fight. Like
Bro,
Munguia.
McGee is a bum. He's a drug cheating bum who got
But
put to sleep by a French painter.
That's why Shiraz, but think about it. Shiraz, I mean, he took the Liam Williams fight. He gonna fight whoever Frank put him in there with. So I think that's a great fight for him. Um Hold on, you got Nick Ball at number 12?
Hell yeah, Nick Ball.
Okay, so
I
Nick
thought he
Ball
got robbed. I thought he got robbed against Ray Vargas. Dropped the man three times. I don't know how they gave Ray Vargas a draw in that fight. He
WBC
beat
belt.
Ray Ford. Who did he fight after
Questionable.
that? Another notable name. So yeah, I got Nick Ball number 12, or where do I got him?
Yeah,
Let me see.
you put him at number 12.
Yeah, number 12. I think
You
that's
got him
fair.
right. You got him before Haney. That's your list is just flawed and it's all in all due respect. But we'll leave that there. Um I like Nick Ball. He's about to fight Sam Goodman. See, that's what I'm saying. These guys, I could never, if that's your level of competition, I could never rank you over guys like Haney. You know what I'm saying? Because they're fighting the top of the sport.
What
Like
about
every
Ray
fight.
Vargas and Ray Ford, respectfully?
Listen, Ray Ford was a one time champion. With all due respect, no, Ray Ford is that dude. Let's not get it twisted. But I'm just saying those is tough fights. But you got a Ray Ford that they know is struggling to make weight. They already reported that, and you barely beat him. I mean, it was like by the
Oh
skin of
man.
he won by the skin of his teeth. Come on, you know that.
Questionably, if that.
Yeah, come on, man. They gave that to him because they knew Ray was
Man, Ray
moving out of the
Ford.
way.
Listen.
Let's give it
That
a
was a
stat.
close fight. Ray Ford, I thought gave
Who
away
whose
the
card was
first
that?
6 to 7 rounds. What you say?
Who card was that?
I think that was the 5v5. As a matter of fact,
Oh, who was the promoter over there?
it was Queensberry Matchroom versus Matchroom on
Ah,
Riyadh season.
yeah, Riyadh season in Queensbury. That's what I'm saying, man. You got to watch out for stuff like that when you with Ray Ford. I think you being
But
disingenuous. He
hold
did
on. I
not lose
just
the
brought
first
up
six
the fact, and
rounds.
my bad, I keep cutting you off, B3,
Go
but
ahead. No,
I
you
just
go
brought
ahead. I
up the
cut you
fact
off.
that Nick Ball was robbed terribly.
I mean, but
Yes.
no. But the two names you're giving him credit for. Okay, the Ray Fargus fight. You think he was robbed? They called it a draw. That's not a robbery. He didn't. I thought Ray Vargas did a lot of effective work in that fight. That's what I'm saying. Nick Ball is a top. He's at the top level. He's an A level fighter. I think. Well, when I say A level, I'm just meaning at the top of the sport. He's at the top of
He's
his
certainly
weight
at the
class.
top at
Yeah,
126
he's
now.
at the top. But what I'm saying is that he's not performing to a level that surpasses his opposition. That's all I'm saying. He's in a lot of close fights. He's getting, there's a lot of questionable fights and stuff like that that we're not really, looking into too deeply because we really only care about Black American fighters. Let's
Man,
keep this stuff.
B3, I just think you take your Black Panther Chairman Fred mentality and you just apply it to everything you see. Respectfully, my brother, I think it's
Uh,
crazy.
hey, listen, don't go off the rails, man. Listen, you got Nick Ball. You got Nick Ball at number 12 over Tank. You just out of order. I mean, let's call it what it is. You
I
got Tank at
mean,
14 and Nick
I
Ball at
mean,
12. I mean, this is unquestionably a terrible list.
I
Marcus,
mean,
somebody tighten up.
respectfully. I mean, at least Nick Ball didn't take a knee because some hair hit him in his eye.
All he did was knee somebody in the nuts and make him fall. Don't we kick him
I mean,
ball?
that's
Hold
better
on.
than.
Oh, you gonna make me play my? You gonna make me play my song? You gonna make me play my song? Hold on, let me
I
see. Hey,
tried.
let me
I'm
see
done.
if I can. Let me see
Fall
if I
back.
can
I'll
play it
fall
on
back.
here, man.
I'll stand down.
Nah, you done messed up now. It may let me play it. It may not. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be
I
able to
just
play
got
it.
my hair done 2 days ago. I know that song. You know that song, B3?
Can you hear that?
Nah, I can't hear nothing. I just got my hair done
I've
two
been
days
popping it
ago.
and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal.
If you
Turn a
playing
dream
something
to
three, I can't
reality,
hear it.
bill. Run up
They
100
probably
and
can
some
hear it on
dunks,
YouTube
will.
though.
She
Okay, my
love me
bad.
for my sex appeal. So much game, I can get T.O. chill. October, we in Saudi still. Hold that 11 mil and run it up. Tank toe turkey to double his stuff. Any fight costs a few more bucks. Need a KO, just say so. A-side dirty ball, kick him to the flow. Breadman said hit him low. Ryan took Usher and he could've said no. And I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She love me for my sex appeal. And I've been cashing it and flipping it like Katie. Out New England, still winning like Brady. To be great, Heidi, yeah, it's no baby. Shout out Sarah Bailey. And I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She love me for my sex appeal. And I can rip a beat like a bong. She pretty, petite, in a thong. Everything she do sweet like the bomb. She serve me Dawn. No pimp, Juan. Been getting bread, non. I always ball, Bron. Never leaving the UK, Hassan. And I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She love me for my sex appeal. She love me for my sex appeal. Yeah, picks. It's 3 picks.
What you think, Coach? What you think?
Man, you probably one of the
Man,
greatest
that
that ever
shit,
did it,
hey,
man.
that should have joined B3.
I love that. I love that. I forgot how you said the line, man. You took Ostarine, but you could have said no.
Right. I said Ryan took Asherin. He could have said no.
Yeah, I got one thought. I like this kid Nick Ball, man. He's a little. He goes into every fight disadvantaged by height, disadvantaged with reach. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to. It's sometimes hard to judge a fighter like that who fights in a way that he's gonna have to take some shots.
Yeah.
Um, I could see him being 11 and 12, but then when I think about that, either he's a solid 11 for me, or Roach gotta be 11, man. Roach impressed the shit. I had that fight a dead draw with him and Tank.
That's a good point.
I had it a dead draw. You know what I'm saying? Exactly how the judges called it. If he would have got called the knockdown, it would have been a win. You know what I'm saying? But I was really I never see nobody give Tank such, and it was competitive. You know what I'm saying? People see Tank have a hard fight and like, oh, it was He beat it was Tank did his thing too, but he just had such a hard time with Roach that I gotta put him there. You know, so I had Roach as like a B+ fighter, but right now I think I gotta make him A level, man.
100%. I mean, especially based on years experience, without question. Now, let me ask you this: what's the next fight y'all want to see for Lamont Roach?
Well, since it seems like Tank is going to be having some really big problems with this situation, I wouldn't mind Shakur. Matter of fact, I think Shakur had him number one on, or excuse me, number two behind Tank. So I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. I wouldn't mind seeing him go back to 130, fighting fighting Mr. Gary Russell, or potentially getting in there with a Ray Ford. You know, I think those are the three fights I'd like to see most.
Yup.
The first one that popped into my mind, a dude I like, but I want to see him test a lot more, is Raymond Murataya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raymond Murataya, I wouldn't mind seeing him with Shakur. I wouldn't mind that at all. It's definitely a tough test, but Raymond Murataya, man, that would be the fight I would like to see with Roach.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. That would be a great fight. Man, that'd be maybe he'd get a voluntary with with Top Rank. You know, that'd build Raymond up for sure in the sport of boxing. I mean, that's pretty much all I got. Y'all know I got to get out here in the field and grab some cheese for the day, man. God bless everybody that came in and supported the live. I appreciate my brothers, Marky Dan, Coach Tommy, D Free, my brother BVO came into the chat, prize fighter, Justin James, all my family in the Sports Talk Network and the JBT, man. I appreciate y'all. And we did another one, man. I'm more than likely be back with another one tomorrow. Of course, you know BVO gonna be cracking off tonight. And let's let me see one other thing. Oh yeah, and I accidentally um ban BVO. I was
Yeah, I
trying to
saw
just
that.
play,
That was
I was trying to
hilarious.
play around to time them out, but now I don't know if I'm able to unban them, but we'll figure it out. All right. Appreciate y'all. Let me. I know y'all want to hear the track one more time. Y'all want me to run it one more time before we hear it?
Before you go,
All right.
salute to B3Picks. You see what my
Yes,
brother is
sir.
doing. Please smash that like button, subscribe if you're coming in.
Thank you,
I
brother.
got my own show, my own channel, Democracy 101. I talk politics. I
Yes.
talk global politics as well as what's going on, particularly over there in the Middle East and Ukraine. I'm gonna be having. I have my show every Friday with my brother Dub Rightside. Please check me out. I put my
Mhm.
link in the group in the private chat. B3, I'd appreciate it if you could post it. And yeah, look out for my lives. I go every Friday. At
What's the
eight
name of that
thirty
again?
at 8 o'clock. It's called Democracy 101.
I'm gonna definitely jump on that because I've learned more about politics in the last year than I have in my whole life. I like that. Marky
I
Dan,
appreciate the hell out of that, Tommy. I really do.
and it's always a pleasure hearing your boxing wisdom, man. That's like a treat from Mark Dan. I appreciate you. B3, you know you my guy. Subscribe to B3. He picks fights better than anybody I know. Cash in while you got the chance. My final thoughts is stay connected to good people, stay aware, foster good relationships. Unity is more important now than ever with good people, period. Take that how y'all want it. Peace.
Appreciate that, Coach.
Peace,
Man,
Tommy.
thank everybody. I'm gonna leave y'all. I'm gonna leave y'all on the outro. I'm gonna play it one more time, and that'll be it for it.
All right, my brother.
Big
Peace.
VA. Shout out London. NA, let's get it. She love me for my sex appeal. I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, Bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She love me for my sex appeal. So much game, I can get T.O. chill. October, we in Saudi still. Hold that 11 mil and run it up. Tank toe turkey to double his stuff. Any fight costs a few more bucks. Need a KO, just say so. A-side dirty ball, kick him to the flow. Breadman said hit him low. Ryan took Usher and he could've said no. And I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She love me for my sex appeal. And I've been cashing it and flipping it like Katie. Out New England, still winning like Brady. To be great, Heidi, yeah, it's no baby. Shout out Sarah Bailey. And I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She love me for my sex appeal. And I can rip a beat like a bong. She pretty, petite, in a thong. Everything she do sweet like the bomb. She serve me Dawn. No pimp, Juan. Been getting bread, non. I always ball, Bron. Never leaving the UK, Hassan. And I've been popping it and whipping it for real. I walk it like I talk it, that's a deal. Turn a dream to reality, bill. Run up 100 and some dunks, will. She love me for my sex appeal. She love me for my sex appeal. Yeah, picks. It's 3 picks.